Hi, welcome to I Live Food. This is our first video as we launch our YouTube channel, and I'm very excited about it. I am a foodie and I've been cooking since I was a little girl with my mom and my grandma. Growing up in an Italian household, we pretty much all we did was cook. I am a foodie and I love to eat. I also love to cook. When I found out that I had lots of allergies, I was really nervous that I wasn't going to be able to cook all the great food that I love so much. But I found a way to get around it, as well as staying healthy and using pure ingredients instead of using processed food. So I am gluten-free. However, I have many other allergies that I won't list right now. But we're going to continue on our journey together, and I hope that you will continue to join us and learn from some of the things that I've learned. So we're going to make crab cakes today. First, we're going to start with the crab. Okay, we've got this delicious crab claws here, and I also have lump crab. Now, I know what you're thinking. Did I take all these claws out myself? Now, I'll tell you what, I did not. However, I have declawed a crab or two in my time, but these I did not. I went to the store and I bought the fresh can, so it has no other ingredients in it. It's just purely crab meat. So we've got, like I said, lump crab meat, and we have claw. So we're gonna dump these in here together. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to do is, sometimes crab's a little fishy. So first things first, we're gonna get ourselves a lemon, and we are going to squeeze out the juice. This way we can get some of that like fishy taste to go away. Don't want to eat any seeds. There we go. All right. Okay. I like to use almost two halves. Well, that would be a whole, right? Okay. All right. From there, I'm going to put fresh parsley. This is from my garden. I picked it just a little while ago, and I really enjoy being able to use as much as I can from my garden. Everything that I use, if I can grow it, I will. Not really, growing crabs, and I don't have a lemon tree, although I would love to have a lemon tree. I'm not sure how well lemon tree would do in New Jersey. So I also have cilantro. I'm going to put cilantro in there. This cilantro was from a few months ago. I froze it and put it into ice cubes. So it's been defrosting. So I know it looks kind of like mushy, but I assure you it was fresh, and then I froze it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our pepper. So I wanted to show something to you guys. I like to cut, the best way for me, I feel like I like to cut around the seeds, so around the top of the stem, right? So I'm able to do that without really cutting any, getting any seeds in there, right? And we're just gonna slice this up here, all right? And for your convenience, I have already pre-cut that, so we can dump that in here as well. Okay. Then, next ingredient we're going to do is shallots. Okay. I definitely pre-cut these because I was crying like a baby. All right. So, we're going to do that. So, it was 1 whole pepper and 3 small shallots. Next ingredient I'm going to use is this mix. I pre-mixed it myself. It has celery salt, black pepper, paprika, and red pepper as well. So I'm going to put this in here. I would say maybe 2.5 tablespoons of that. And then I've got this other mix that I made. It's ground cumin and Himalayan salt. I like the Himalayan salt better than the regular salt. I find that it's not quite as salty, and I don't feel as bloated or puffy with it. It's all about not being bloated. Okay. Next, we're going to do a fresh ground mustard, okay? And that's about 2 tablespoons of fresh ground mustard. One other thing with the fresh ground mustard is that I put a little bit of horseradish in there. That's important. You get like a really nice little tang to it. Okay, next is gluten-free hot sauce. Okay, so make sure it's gluten-free. There's a lot of vinegars that are not gluten-free, and that's important as well. Everything that we've used is gluten-free. This mustard is made with apple cider vinegar. This is made with red wine vinegar, and everything else has been spices, right? Okay, so we're gonna put, I would say, about a tablespoon of hot sauce in there. All right. Then we're gonna do our last dry ingredient. So this is cornflake crumbs, and cornflake crumbs are really good. I make sure that it's just ground up corn with a little bit of sugar. I don't generally like to use sugar when I don't need to, but it actually helps with the consistency. So just regular ground up corn doesn't have the same consistency as a little bit of added sugar. So I'll make sure it's non-GMO when I use that. There's a lot of people that have corn allergies, so I would suggest that you substitute with either a rice meal, an almond meal, something like that. But today I chose the corn. This is 1 cup of the corn meal, okay? And then my last ingredient is going to be mayonnaise. This is a homemade mayonnaise, okay? And it is egg-free, it's gluten-free, it's non-GMO, all that stuff. So I am allergic to eggs, so it's very hard for me to find a mayo. So this is the mayo that I use. I make it myself. It's delicious. You can see it's white like real mayo. Lots of lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, things like that in it. And you can look on my website to be able to see the recipe for that. Okay, so we're just going to mix this up. Now that I've mixed this up and magically cleaned up the counter, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these guys. So I took just a regular cookie sheet, put tinfoil over it, and then a little bit of non-stick olive oil spray. And then we're going to take these guys, right, I would say palm of your hand, like about that, okay? And we're going to make them into a patty. Right? I know they feel a little bit wet, and that's okay, because the corn meal is going to soak all the moisture up when they're cooking. Okay, so it's going to be fine, but don't make them too thick or else they will be a little bit wet on the inside. Now remember, these are without eggs, so they're not going to be as maybe stuck together as patties would be if there was eggs in there. Okay, so you have to understand that. That's why the cooking spray is really important, because then they won't stick. All right, so you want to make them, you know, about that big. They're you don't want them too big, you don't want them too fat. You know, you don't have to worry about them spreading, right? So you can put them one on top of another. Just make sure there's enough room to be able to get your spatula in there, right? And we're going to get these. Now make sure that you keep another lemon on hand, because you're going to want to squeeze that lemon on your hands, because your hands are going to be a little stinky and fishy smelling. All right. So we're going to fill this up. We're going to get all these guys going. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put the grill on to about 375. Okay, so these are all ready to go on the grill. And the reason I chose the grill over the oven was because it is summer and it's hot. So I'm going to pop these on the grill, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to do the squash. I grew this squash in my garden. It can't get any more local than this. And we're going to cut it up, and we're going to get it ready to go on the grill with the crab cakes. Thanks. Hi, welcome back. So the crab cakes are on the grill. And now I'm going to take my summer squash that I grew myself, and we're going to cut this up. So cutting it in half, cut it in half again, and just the pieces should be about this, you know, so it's it's good enough for the grill. Not too thick, not too thin. All right, we'll cut these up. Put them in our pan. I put the skin side down in the pan. I mean, of course, we're going to take them off the pan. But, okay. So, these guys were on the vine a little too long. I see that. The seeds are a little bigger than I like. So, making a note for myself for next time to make sure that I take them out of the garden and off the vine a little bit sooner. Okay. Then, we're going to cut up this zucchini here. He is big also. I was at the shore and they were growing. And when I got home, they were amazing. But these actually are not so bad. The seeds are not too big. So this is good. Okay. So I'm not going to have enough room in here, and that's okay. We'll just save those pieces for later. Take a little bit of olive oil, okay, and I'll just like pour it on here. I would say not even a third of a cup, and some Himalayan salt. I like to use the stuff that you ground. Okay, I put that on there, and we all know why I like Himalayan salt. And then we'll grind up some fresh pepper. Okay. Now I take my little silicone thingy here, and we're just gonna brush each one. So when you feel like it's totally covered, we can go ahead and put that on the grill. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it on the grill on the top shelf. I get my tongs out, put them on, and once they look like they're starting to get a little bit soft, then you flip them over, do it again. Again, on 375, because the crab cakes are in there on 375, they take approximately 20 minutes, I would say. All right, I'll see you in a few. All right, my friends, so this is concluding our wonderful cooking day. So our finished product is voila. You want to get a closer look? Oh, doesn't that look delicious? Okay, so we cooked the crab cakes for an hour. Halfway through, we flipped them with a plastic spatula. Be careful, it's hot. And then the same thing with these guys. 25 minutes, approximately 10 minutes into the cooking, flip them as well. Okay, and last but not least, a little homemade tartar sauce. Okay, we've got gluten-free relish, garlic powder, pepper, salt, and homemade mayonnaise that is gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and corn-free. Okay, and egg-free. All right, so just so you know it's edible, all right, my friends, we'll put a little bit of this on there. Get a taste. Make sure that it's not inedible. Mmm. So good. Taste my homegrown squash. Mmm. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a perfect meal on a perfect Friday night in the summer. Thank you so much for joining me on I Live Food, and I hope to see you again real soon. Bye.